Total Gym sells a lot of different attachments to help you get the most out of your workouts. The attachments can help expand the number of exercises you can perform. They can help you focus on different muscle groups more effectively, and they can help keep your workouts more interesting. In this video, I'm not only going to show you how to use each of the attachments, I'm going to rank them based on which attachments I think have the most potential uses, the ones that improve the quality of my workouts, and quite frankly, the ones I find myself using the most. If you're interested in learning more about any of these attachments, check out the links in the video description. Using the links helps support my channel so I can continue creating new content for you. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know which attachments are your favorites. Let's get started. Coming in at number 9 are the press-up bars. The press-up bars attach to the bottom of your glide rails. So I like to take a seat towards the bottom of my glide board and push it up the rails so it's out of the way. You just place your attachment on the glide rail and drop the pin in the place and the holes on the side of your glide rails. Now the press-up bars are great for shoulder work, but also doing a lot of core exercises as well. I'll start by demonstrating the shoulder press. You can vary the positions of your hands on the bars. With this more narrow grip and keeping my elbows tucked in toward my sides, that'll work the front deltoids and the triceps. Turning out into this wider grip will hit the lateral delts. And one other benefit of the press-up bars is that they allow you to sink deep into the press, which is also great for hitting the upper portion of your chest. The press-up bars are also great for core work. Here I'm demonstrating the core extension, pushing the board up the rails and then using my low abs and tucking the pelvis to pull the board down the rails. To increase the challenge, you can keep your knees lifted up off the glide board. And make sure to keep your shoulders over your wrists and hands to prevent any strain on your shoulders. And one more option is the pike, which not only works the core but provides a hamstring stretch too. I also like that I can leave the bars attached to the bottom of my Total Gym. They don't get in the way of the squat stand, so this makes it really easy to move quickly from exercise to exercise. You can also use the bars at the top of your Total Gym for pull-ups and chin-ups. One thing I notice is that using the press-up bars for the pull-ups is really effective at hitting the rhomboids or the muscles down the center of your back. Coming in at number 8, the Triceps Dip Bars. The dip bars attach about halfway down your glide rails. Now, the easiest way I found for attaching really any of the attachments is to place the attachment on your glide rails above the attachment hole, and then place your pin in the hole on the attachment, and then just slide the attachment down the rails, and then your pin will drop right into place. So it makes it really easy. The dip bars are one of those attachments that I enjoy because it helps to keep my workouts more interesting. They're great for adding some variety to your workouts. Here I'm doing the tricep dips in a supine position. And to add a little core challenge, you can raise your legs off the board into a tabletop position. Now, if you want, you can also extend your legs out and go into an ab tuck exercise to work your arms and abs at the same time. As I push away from the dip bars, I extend my legs out straight, and as I sink down, I tuck my knees in towards my chest. You can also perform the tricep dips in a prone position or face down on the board. It's really just a matter of personal preference whether you go in a supine or a prone position. And one more option I wanted to demonstrate is to use the dip bars for shoulder shrugs. You'll need to raise the glide rails up to a higher level or add some external weight or resistance bands to get a good challenge with this exercise. Coming in at number 7, the weight bar. The weight bar just slides through the hole on the bottom of your glide board. And then once it's in place, you can add your external weight plates. And then use your clips to keep your weight plates in place. Now, the The total gym weight bar has a maximum capacity of 180 pounds, so you can place 90 pounds of weight on each side. And of course, you can't exceed the maximum weight capacity of your total gym. For the total gym fit, the maximum weight capacity is 450 pounds. So make sure you check your user's manual to see what the maximum weight capacity is on your total gym. I mainly use the weight bar when I want to really challenge my lower body, but you can also use it when working the upper body too. The bar is also a nice spot to rest your hands and grip onto if you've loaded a lot of weight on the bar. And one comment I hear quite a bit is that you can't get a good lower body workout on the total gym. I think adding the weight bar can help with that. You can also change up the exercises by doing a single leg squat instead of the double leg squats, or also by changing up the tempo to increase the challenge. If you don't have weight plates, you can also use the bar as a spot to attach resistance bands. You just need to be a little bit more cautious. When using the bands, only get on and off the glide board when it's closed and resting at the bottom. If you're not careful, the resistance bands could pull the glide board out from underneath you. Now, I do love the convenience of using resistance bands. Weight plates can be a hassle to take on and off, and storing them can take a lot of room. I'll leave a link to these SunPow resistance bands in the video description below. Coming in at number 6 is the ab crunch. Now your ab crunch will come in 2 separate pieces, so just look for the stickers. I have the left side here, 2 L stickers, and then I just place the pad on top of the handle and then drop the pin in the hole to attach the 2 pieces together. Now once you have them assembled, you'll attach them to the top of your glide rails. So whenever I'm placing an attachment on the glide rails, I like to set the attachment on the glide rails above the hole, and then I place the pin in the hole on the attachment and then just glide the attachment down the rails, and the pin will drop right into the hole on your glide rails. You'll also know that you have them correctly installed because the handles will be pointed inward towards the tower. The ab crunch provides a really effective way to work your core muscles. It's great to use if you have shoulder issues because it can take some of the pressure off the shoulders compared to doing similar exercises off the bottom of the glide board. So here I'm demonstrating a basic ab crunch or tuck. Just keep the movement small so you're really focusing on the low abs. If you extend out too far, you'll start to feel it in your hip flexors. To increase the challenge, you can keep your knees raised off the board, which is really going to intensify the exercise. If you move your body off to one side, you can work your obliques. Focus on contracting the obliques and not just going through the movement. And you can also go into a pike as well, similar to what I was doing earlier with the press-up bars. Coming in at number 5, the triceps ropes. Now the triceps ropes come with a carabiner clip, so I like to leave it attached to the cables. That way I can quickly switch between my ropes and my handles. When using the ropes, I find I can get a deeper contraction of the triceps. The bend and the flexibility in the ropes allows you to squeeze your muscles just a little bit harder. And what I like the most is how super versatile these ropes are. You can see I started with a skull crusher, and then now I'm moving into these tricep extensions. You can go into a prone position and perform lying triceps kickbacks. From here, I'm transitioning into cross cable rows. This is the shoulder extension in a kneeling position. By turning away from the tower, you can do front raises, which is great for hitting your deltoids. And then you can do a similar exercise in this inverted position. Again, this is going to work your deltoids, and you can extend your legs up into tabletop to work your core at the same time. Here's the upright row. You'll notice I'm holding the ropes so the rubber grips at the end are turned in toward one another, and you can move to a full kneeling position. Next is the lateral tricep extension. You can either do this in a seated or kneeling position. And then moving on to one of my favorites is the single arm row, and you'll notice I've got one rope attached to both cables. Now I've done a full review of the Triceps ropes. I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this one. Coming in at number 4 is the leg pulley system. The leg pulley system includes a bracket to attach the pulleys to, 2-foot harnesses, an extension rope so you can work both legs at once, and the pulley system itself. So let's go ahead and attach the bracket. You'll attach it to the top of your tower using this long hitch pin. You'll attach it so that the hooks are the opening of the hooks is facing upward. And then you'll attach your pulleys to the bracket. Now, if you're going to do single leg work, you want to make sure that the end with the round hook is at the bottom. So I'll just attach it to the bracket up at the top. And then I'm going to do some single leg work first. So I'm going to attach the round hook to the bottom of my glide board. I'm going to go ahead and set the extension rope aside. And next, let's put on our foot harnesses. So you get 2 of these. You place your heel in the stirrup and then wrap it around your ankle. I like to do all my Pilates work barefoot. It gives you better ankle mobility, but you can wear shoes with this as well. Let's do the other side. Again, placing your heel in the stirrup and then wrapping the Velcro around your ankle. One of the hooks will go through the slit on the side of your stirrup strap, and then you should end up with having 2 hooks, one on each side and then one on the back. So next, let's go ahead and get into position. I'm going to pull the glide board up the rails, take a seat towards the bottom of my glide board, and place my feet on either a squat stand or, in this case, the Pilates Toe Bar. And I'm going to hook the carabiner to the outside of my left leg so I can do some single leg work. So I'm going to rest my right foot on the glide board, and from here I can do my single leg pulley work. So I've done Pilates reformer workouts for more than 10 years, and this accessory brings back that Pilates reformer experience. These single leg raises are great for stretching and strengthening your hamstrings and low back. Then you can move into these single leg presses, which is good for working your glutes. From here, I'm going into leg circles. This is great. You'll feel this in your core as well. And you'll want to reverse directions. Next, I'm going to go into some side lying exercises. So I place both my feet on the glide board to help stabilize myself and then turn onto my side. I'm going to go into single leg raises just like before, and this on the side lying position is going to hit your inner thigh, and you can notice I'm also pointing and flexing, which will help stretch your hamstrings. And these forward sweeps are really great at stretching your hamstrings and glutes as well. Going back into those presses again, keeping my leg and foot parallel to the floor. And then again, those leg circles, single leg circles. Try to stabilize yourself. I'm rocking a little bit here, but try to stabilize yourself using your core and repeating both forward and backward. Next, I'm going to turn onto my stomach. Doing some extensions here. This is going to feel a lot like a quadriceps extension machine you might find at your gym. So this is another great way to work your quads. And then from here you can go up onto your knees and forearms and do these donkey kicks, which is going to work your glutes and just the backside of your legs. So pushing through that heel and making sure you contract those glutes as you extend straight out. Then I'll carefully come up off the glide board, placing one foot down at a time and detaching the leg pulley from the ankle cuff. When you're ready to work both legs at the same time, you'll need your extension rope and you'll need to detach the pulley from the glide board. You have your round metal ring. You'll attach the extension rope to that. And then I'm going to grab both cables and just pop over here so you can see a little better. I'm going to attach the carabiner to the outside loop on each of the foot harnesses. Grab the ropes and just straddle my glide board. I'm going to push the glide board up the rails, take a seat towards the bottom, roll back, and you can hold on to those ropes just to stay in control of them. And then you can extend your legs out straight once you get positioned on your glide board. Just like the single leg work, I'm going to start with these double leg raises. My legs are tight together, my knees and ankles are touching. From here, I'm going to go into those leg presses. My legs are hip distance apart. I'm driving through the heel, activating the hamstrings and the glutes. And from there, I'm going to turn out at the hip and press my heels together, keeping the heels pressed together throughout the exercise. As you draw your knees in, make sure they go no wider than your shoulders. From here, I'm going to transition into some giant leg circles. So I'll go into one direction and then halfway through reverse directions. When you're doing these, think about extending through your legs, reaching your toes toward the wall in front of you. It would feel similar to the sensation if someone grabbed you at the ankle and gently pulled your leg away from you. Now, when you're ready to get off the glide board with your legs in the pulley, we're going to just go in the opposite or reverse order from getting on. I'm going to grab the ropes just to maintain control of them, place my feet on the floor, and then roll up. Again, make sure you stay in control of that glide board so it doesn't slip away from you, and then you can detach one leg pulley at a time. Coming in at number 3, the Pilates Toe Bar. The toe bar is great for calf raises because you can extend your heels to get a nice deep stretch. And the rubberized texture on the bar makes it easy to grip the bar with your toes so your foot doesn't slip off. You can perform Pilates footwork, extending your leg over the toe bar as you press in and out with the other leg. And then you can advance it with this thread the needle exercise. Next is the toe out squat. You turn out at the hip and press through the heels to work your inner thighs. I'll keep my legs in that turned out position and bring my heels together to go into a heel raise. Make sure to keep the heels pressed together throughout, and then you can alternate between a heel raise and a leg press in that turned out position. To perform a roll-up, place your feet on the side of the toe bar and roll down, articulating the spine one vertebrae at a time. Roll back up, lifting one vertebrae at a time off the glide board, extending over your legs, and then restack your spine, sitting up nice and tall, and then repeat the exercise. The lower the glide board, the more challenging this exercise will be. And this is one of my favorite stretching exercises on the total gym. For the low back stretch, brace your feet on the crossbar, grip the toe bar, and then extend out. Keep your back as flat as possible to feel the stretch in your low back. From here, I'm going to transition into a figure 4 stretch, which is great for sciatic nerve pain. Make sure you check out my stretching exercise playlist for more detailed instructions on all the different stretching exercises you can perform on your total gym. I also have a 20-minute full body stretching workout you should check out. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. The hip flexor stretch is another one of my favorites. The glide board makes it easy to move in and out of all these stretches. You can also extend your legs straight out in front of you and get a nice hamstring stretch as well. You can even use the Pilates Toe Bar to perform shoulder presses on your total gym. And here's another way to perform the core extension. Kneeling towards the middle of the glide board and then extending out, pressing against that Pilates Toe Bar. You can further advance it by going into this full plank position. Just push out as far as you can while still maintaining control of that glide board. And here's one more option for performing a pike. Just be careful getting in and out of this and maintaining control of your glide board. Coming in at number 2 is the two-piece swing attachment. This attaches either to the top or the bottom of your glide rails. And when you're attaching it to the top, just make sure that you have the handles angled towards your tower. The two-piece swing attachment is a fundamental attachment that I think is essential for getting the most from your total gym. Most models will come with some version of the wing attachment, whether it be the more common two-piece attachment or the one piece that's sold with the XLS model. I find myself using it in nearly every workout because it allows me to perform dozens of different exercises, from chin-ups and pull-ups to hamstring curls, sit-ups, ab crunches, and even this inverted stretch to decompress your spine. And just like the press-up bars, you can attach the wing attachments to the bottom of your total gym and perform shoulder presses and core exercises. And if you attach the wing attachment underneath your glide rails, you can perform a variety of different compound exercises that'll work your legs and your upper body at the same time. Make sure you check out my compound exercises playlist for more information on how to set up your wing attachments to perform these exercises. Coming in at number 1, the XL squat stand. Now the XL squat stand, in my opinion, is a must-have. If your total gym came with a smaller squat stand, I highly recommend investing in this. It's much nicer and kinder to your knees. I'll leave a link to it in the video description below, along with links to all the other accessories. When you're just starting out, you can start out with this basic double leg squat. And then from there you can advance it to a single leg squat, which is going to increase the intensity. You can either stay on one side or alternate. And notice when I'm doing these squats, a lot of times I'm driving through the heel. That's going to help activate your glutes and your hamstrings. These tick-tock squats are going to hit your inner thighs. And whenever you're doing squats, make sure that you're keeping your tailbone in contact with your glide board. And then next I'm going into a mogul squat or a skiing squat, and this is going to work your outer hips and thighs. You can go into a side lying squat. These are really effective for hitting your glutes, again driving through the heel. The hip lifts are great for strengthening and toning your glutes. You just squeeze your glutes as hard as you can as you lift your hips up. And then from there you can go into these bridge squats. Make sure when you're doing these, you're placing all the weight on your shoulders. You don't want to be going back onto your neck. And then finally is the sprinter start or the sprinter squat. These again are great for working your glutes and your hamstrings. So, what did you think of my list? Leave a comment below and let me know what your favorite total gym attachments are. And if you like this content, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about any of the attachments I've covered in this video, check out the links in the video description. Thanks for watching. See you soon.